All right, you ready? Nice.
I am now. Yeah.
Keep that in.
Yes.
Hi, and welcome back to the best thing you watched this week. Got Chris from Movies and Munchies, myself, Ruben from the Ruby Tuesday. It's been an interesting week for me. It's been a week of cold. My son went away for 5 days, came back after spending 10 minutes of the rain in the rain chasing a pigeon, came back with a heady cold, gave it to me.
Oh, no.
So if I sound a little bit more nasally this time and you're getting a bit more ASMR, sorry, then you'll know why. But I think we have an eclectic content of what we're going to be talking about, what it is the best thing that we watched. At the same time, your audio exclusive, we do have an interesting film, a Neeson film to talk about, which I'm sure is an amazing film, and we'll be gushing all about that. That's in the audio exclusive content bit, with the things that we're looking forward to and some entertainment news. So it really is a fun experience there as well. So wherever you listen to audio stuff, audio podcasts, we're probably on that platform. And then this week's Patreon is the last American extravaganza of me tasting sweets and Chris giving me diabetes once more. That is a new video that'll be on there. Thank you so much for our new patrons that are joining us. We are very excited to have you there with us. We have an eclectic tier list of things you can get us to do, whether it's doing short skits or it is reviewing series or movies, or even just a little bit of fun information, or even if you want to join us on one, there are tiers that you can check from like really cheap to God mode Nicolas Cage. So you can check that out in the descriptions below. Chris wants to say something.
I think Ruben's been going rogue someplace. I heard we're doing skits.
Yeah.
That's a... okay, well, there you go. If that's what you
want us
news
to do
me, but okay, I'm doing it. Yep.
You obviously haven't checked all the tiers out.
I apparently have not. Oh goodness, I'm falling behind.
There's going to be sneaky ones there with like little subtitles. And Chris will do this if you ask him really nicely.
Chris shaves the center of his beard.
Yes. I'll do like just a buzz cut straight down the middle.
So bad.
Anyway, we should start. Hi, Chris.
Yes. Hi, Ruben. Oh, goodness. Well, I'm sorry to hear that you had the head cold a little bit. It is funny, though, that your son was chasing birds out in the rain.
Well, the pigeon couldn't fly because it was so heavily raining, so he was chasing it and then allowing it to run away some more because it couldn't fly away, and then he would catch up, and he spent 10 minutes doing that. And I say to him, well, who won? The pigeon won, because you came back with a cold and infected the rest of your family. Thank you very much.
Rats with wings right there.
Oh, yeah, shit with feet, yeah.
I've never heard that one before.
There it is.
Oh, goodness. Oh, well, hey, so to do something different this week, Ruben typically gives us a movie quote quiz, and I ask a question. We're doing it different this week. I'm going to give the movie quote quiz, and Ruben is going to ask the question. But first, we did get a winner from last week. Leah Wilkie Donnelly got Holy Grail, Con Air, and The Martian. So, and I only got Con Air because of Ruben's visual hint of him moving his fingers forward and back a la Nicolas Cage.
At this point, I do need to apologize to the audio listeners. I am every week I listen back, and I know Chris does as well. And there are moments when I go, I really need to do more visual audio description, because we're laughing and what you're listening to in the audio has no meaning whatsoever. And I'm so sorry. So if you're listening, I'm going to be more descriptive. Like if I'm doing something silly, Ruben has now picked his nose, I will describe it for you in nice squishy detail.
Squishy, even better.
Yeah. But Chris, so cool. You're doing the movie quote quiz. Excellent.
I am. I'm super excited by this.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm yes.
Okay.
Bring it on.
Okay. Here's the first one.
Okay.
Let's chow down here and munch on some grindage.
Wow. Is that a 90s film?
Yes.
Yes. Really, I'm thinking Skater Dude. I think I might have the film. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Okay.
Good one. I like the grindage. Yeah, that's kind of gave me the hints. Nice. Okay.
All right. Cool. Okay. Number 2. Dude, if you get the nachos stuck together, that's one nacho.
What the hell? I don't know what that is, but it's brilliant.
No,
It doesn't ring a bell. I mean, unless it's like... Yeah, okay.
It was funny. I was doing these for my family last night, and my wife got the first 2. She actually even finished the second one for me.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Yeah. My youngest son hadn't seen that movie, so he was like, that sounds familiar. And I'm listening to all the actor names, and he's like, no, I don't know. I haven't seen that. Yeah.
Okay. So that gives me an idea that it's from the Stone Age. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. Wow. Early in the morning for Chris, and is already getting beat up. Okay. The third one, this is harder. All right. The first 2 are well, this is mainstream still. It's a mainstream movie. But this business will get out of control. It will get out of control, and we'll be lucky to live through it.
Okay, I have an idea, but I don't know if I'm right. All right. Yeah, that's tricky. I think I have the first one. I have an idea on the second one. Could guess at the third one. Let us know in the comments. This is trickier. And also, if it's too hard, don't worry. I can come back next week. We can fight, Chris. It's all right.
There have been some obscure ones that you pulled out. So let's just...
I'm playing. Yeah. It's
Chris
only because I'm on the other
week.
side now. I don't like it. I have to guess and use my brain. This is terrible. Oh.
You don't have the answers now, right?
Yeah, that's not fair. I'll need to consult the cards.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So, you have a question?
Yes, I do have a question. Okay, so I have to set the scene for this question because Ruben likes a story. That's what all storytellers like, writers. You just have to live. If you live with them, you probably feel sorry for the partners that live with storytellers. Here we go. In the real world, there is a server farm that houses 100 of the world's, or might be 1,000 of the world's films, because there are places in the world that house seeds, like seed vaults, just in case there's an apocalypse, things that we want to protect. Now, so this actually exists today. There are server farms where they want to house and protect what they consider to be probably 100, maybe not 1,000 of the world's best films considered to be art. Now let's surmise that there is an algorithm, an AI intelligence that it's about to jump forward on its programming. It's basically mutated into something that it shouldn't be. And with the / in this server farm now houses all the world's sequels and all the world's remakes. With the / it will delete all the remakes. With the / it will delete all the world's sequels. So you have to choose one. It's going to go forward anyway. / or / remakes or sequels. Which do you choose?
Oh, wow. My gut instantly goes with remakes because I'm trying to figure out or to get rid of that.
You want to get rid of all the remakes?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool, cool.
Because I'm trying to. Have there been any remakes that are better? Some. Some I think.
So let me put this.
Is great.
There are some that you don't know that are remakes. For example, The Thing, 1982, is a remake of a 1952 original film. But then, on the other side, Terminator 2, Back to the Future 2. I mean, all sequels. So it's not just number 2s, it's sequels. So we're talking Harry Potter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're talking Rambo 2, 3, 4. We're talking Rocky 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're talking
Star Wars.
Star Wars. Indiana Jones. Speed 2. Oh my gosh, what a great film.
What? Oh, crap. Yeah.
Let us know in the comments what you would choose.
Yes. Because see here, okay, going to The Thing, no matter what I choose, something of The Thing goes away.
Right.
Because either the original, well, if I choose the remakes, the whole everything goes away. If I only choose the sequels, just the prequel, which is really what it is, goes away.
Right. That's horrible.
I'm still gonna go. I'm still gonna go. Remakes goes away.
Right.
Because I think there are too many good sequels versus remakes. I think we'll just that sucks. What a terrible question. What about you? What do you choose?
No, I don't play.
Oh, no. You have to answer.
I push both.
I don't
Equal
know.
doom. Eeny, meeny, miny. No, I definitely would choose to delete the remakes. I have a special fondness of hate for remakes. How many times have we had the conversation of why? How many times have you seen an original, like Infernal Affairs, one of the greatest films ever, has an amazing trilogy, and then America comes along, and The Departed is a good film, but if you've seen the original, until you've seen Infernal Affairs, don't come and talk to me. You just jog on. Yeah, there's so many like that. Battle Royale, the remake of that was atrocious. Yeah. Like, don't.
Oh, I didn't see the remake of that.
It's horrible, but Battle Royale is amazing.
It's so good. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So no, that's my answer. You guys let us know in the comments what you would do. There are no wrong answers except one. Yeah.
Yes. I like this. I like switching it up. That's fun.
Yeah, it's good.
Cool.
Okay. Should we jump in as to what is the best thing you watched this week? Okay, I'll let you start because I just remembered I watched something that I really wanted to talk about. But I forgot the title. That bodes well for it. Yeah, my brain is mush.
Well, for me, I'm going to kick it off. This is something I actually watched last week, but it just started coming out wide release this week.
Okay.
And it's the movie that I went in absolutely blind for. I had not seen a trailer. I had not read a description or a synopsis. I had only seen the movie poster. And it's the movie called Bones and All with Taylor Russell, Timothy Chalamet, and Mark Rylance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it just came out here also this, like, wide. It was on New York and LA, I think, the first week when I actually saw it. Don't worry. I am not going to talk about the plot at all.
Okay.
Because just on the off chance that you don't know about it and you want to go in completely blind. I'm not sure that's the right choice, but that's the choice I did. So anyway, the acting is, for me, I was sucked in with it. It is a quiet, slower type of story where two aspects kind of. One is this young girl who is basically she's searching for her mother, her birth mother, but she's also kind of trying to find herself and her place in the world. And then there's a romance angle that runs along parallel and complements that. Now, I would classify this as a romantic horror.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's not, don't think slasher horror or even scary horror. It's not that type of thing. It's more of that
acting
that
horror.
Visual type of just it's visceral. And it's
okay. I have no idea what this movie's about.
Good. Go in that way.
Okay.
My son my son was sitting next to me. He went to the screening with me and he had seen the trailer already. So there's a point in the trailer that begins to show something, and your brain will figure out what the rest of the context is, I think, based on the whole trailer. But at this point, it comes into the movie, and the setup is different than what the execution actually becomes.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so he's watching me because I'm watching it. I'm like, for everybody on the audio, I mean, it was just a shock. Yeah, I mean, I go back, my mouth kind of drops open, my eyes get big because it's just so not what I thought was going to happen. And that then sets the rest of the trajectory. And this happens fairly early in the movie. So it's it's not going to be for everybody. Right. It is definitely, it's an artsier film. It's from the director, and I can't say his last name, Luca Guadagnino something.
Nice.
He did the Suspiria remake. He did Call Me by Your Name with Timothée Chalamet. So he has a visual style to it, which is great. I mean, the film is beautiful. It's haunting. I think really the standout in this movie is Mark Rylance.
Okay.
The man,
not who I thought you were going to say,
is terrifying. In a very nonchalant way, like very approachable way. Menace, I think maybe is a better word for it. There's something about him that will put your teeth on edge. And
that's nicely descriptive. Teeth on edge.
Yeah. So I literally had to sit with it for almost a week. How did I feel?
Yeah. Okay. To know if you liked it or not.
Yeah, I really did, because like my kids would come in and they would be like, "So what'd you think?" I don't know yet. I'm still processing it. I don't know.
Nice.
But yeah. I ended up loving it though. So
okay. How many couches did you give it in the end?
4 or 4.5.
Oh, okay. So strong, really high up there.
Yeah, it really was. It was. I mean, it's one of those haunting movies that just sticks with you for a while, and I liked that.
Cinema experience.
I don't know how often.
Streaming experience.
I don't. From a visual standpoint, I think probably cinema, just because it's some of it is just really beautiful, and you want something bigger. You need to be invested in it. You need to be watching it. Not because there's stuff that I don't know. I think you could do either way and not miss out on it. And you may need to take a break for a moment. So maybe watching at home could be a better option at times. But
it's a question that a fellow, you've met him, John. He always says, is this an experience that he calls the audience the punter, such a British term. Like, can you, like, is this worth them spending their 10 quid on for the experience at the cinema? Do they need to go out and do this? Or can they wait? But at the same time, when you get early releases at home, it's often more expensive. Like, I was looking at some of the stuff, the home premieres as they call them, and those are anywhere from $15.99, that's pounds, to like $19.99. So that's that's about $23-24 your side for, and that's probably 2 cinema tickets, I guess. Yeah. So
if I had more than 2 people watching, then it becomes a better deal
if you're both
but
paying.
If it's just yeah, exactly. So
okay. So but you didn't speak much about Timothy. Is he good in this?
He's good. He's kind of himself.
Okay.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with his performance by any means. I mean, he's enveloping. I mean, I'm invested in him, just like Taylor Russell. I mean, she's outstanding in this too. Yeah. It's just I think about some of the other Timothée Chalamet movies that I've watched, even Dune, and he kind of has the same thing going on in there. So it's not a knock to him, but it's just kind of like, I don't know, you're good, you're fine, but not like drop everything and you are the absolute reason to go and see this.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Should I jump into my thing?
Please do, yes.
Okay. A group of old friends reunites for a nostalgic evening of fun and games after a decade apart. After one too many, as in drinks, they decide to play a drinking game, but it's quickly revealed that this game comes with supernatural stakes. Mischief leads to mayhem, and the group realize that if they can't come together to win the game by sunrise, they will be forced to play for eternity in hell. Do you know what this is?
No. I mean, it started off sounding like, well, I don't know what it would, I mean, no, I don't know. What is it?
So how would I describe this? Any escape room sort of film mixed in with Jumanji. Yeah. So it's called, it's apparently it came out in June, but it's just dropped on Amazon, at least in the UK. It's called Gatlopp. Hell of a game. And it's
Gatlopp?
Gatlopp. Yeah.
Is it English?
Yeah, no, it's English. It's an American film. So the actors in it, you got Emmy Revere Lampman. You recognize her from a bunch of other stuff. Jim Mahoney, John Bass, who's pretty good in it. It's quite funny. Directed by Alberto Belli, who I've never heard of, and I don't know. Yes. Never seen any of his stuff. But yeah, so this was a surprise. This was really good. It was really funny. It's exactly what I expected. It doesn't have a huge budget, so I think they use it wisely. It's mostly all in one location, and what you get is it's like a reuniting with the friends that were like really close knit and tight together. They spent all of their waking time. They were basically family to each other, except they've had baggage along the way, and so this guy is getting divorced, one of the main group, and they come together and they basically drink and play a board game to get him out of his current funk. He's got to sign the divorce papers, and one of the roommates has bought this thing, a credenza, like
credenza.
Credenza. Yeah, that's not
credenza.
Really credenza. And inside the credenza is this
really
credenza. Credenza. Inside the credenza is this board game, which is called Gatlopp, and so they play it, and they start to play it until they realize like the cards are saying stuff that's relevant to their life, and then suddenly the timer flips over by itself. Nobody touches it, and they're like, "Are we really that drunk?" Yeah. And then it takes a turn for the darker, and they've got to play it to survive. There are moments in this where the story develops through flashbacks of when they have to answer a question, and if you don't answer truthfully, then something happens. Like you got to listen to the game of the question. If you don't answer truthfully, then something's going to happen. So when they don't want to reveal to their best friends stuff that has happened in their past, and you get to see it through a flashback, then you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And there are the comedic moments. There's some real moments. It's a really nice, fun one-time watch. A film I'd never heard of, didn't know existed, just dropped out of nowhere. I went and looked on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a fairly high Rotten Tomatoes score, from critics and audience, where people both kind of liked it. I was like, how did this one even miss me by? This is definitely my type of film, like game night, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Jumanji, Zathura, all of that kind of stuff mixed in together. Loved it. It was really fun.
So how did you even come across this? Were you just
it's on Amazon? Skimming through Amazon, and every week they refresh of like what's new to their platform, and I was like, oh, that looks fun. Chuck that on, not really paying attention, and then within the first few minutes, I was like, oh, this could be good.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna check that out then.
Check it out.
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. She's the lead actress is actually in the movie that you and I watched.
Yes, which I thought was funny. I was going to link back to that in our audio bit when we were talking, because she's probably the best thing in the Neeson thing as well, I guess. She's the only character that I believe is what her character's meant to be in that film.
Yes. Yes.
Anywho, what's next on your best thing?
This one, it had been something I had been looking forward to, but was not really sure if the execution was going to be just done well.
Yeah.
And it dropped Tuesday, I think. Maybe it dropped Wednesday, which would be appropriate because it
dropped Wednesday if it's Wednesday. Yeah.
Yes, it is Wednesday. Yes. Tim Burton's Wednesday. He directed the first 4 episodes. It's 8 episodes total. Jenna Ortega. I had a blast with it. It's kind of a noir mystery. It's snarky and sarcastic, which we would expect. Mm-hmm. I think probably one of the things that I liked the best about this was that when it started to get teen angsty, Wednesday would come in and kill that.
Yeah.
And so it never, like never it would hedge really, at that.
Yeah. It starts to get it and she's just like, I'm not doing that. Nope.
Yeah, exactly. So what'd you think? Did you?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I do think there was a bit of Wednesday being the unlikable character, so much so that she could have been autistic or on a spectrum. I think like it took a long time for them to go, oh, this character is learning something, because she did need to learn. There was a progression that of her character. She needed to learn not to just trust in herself but trust in other people. That's fine. I think I would have liked that to occur a little bit earlier rather than the last episode where she realizes, oh, it's not just me. I need to trust in others. I think she comes off as a bit unlikable in parts. That's not to say she didn't execute Wednesday perfectly, because she's brilliant in this. Had she not had characters like Thing, Hands? What?
Yes.
The Hand?
Yeah, Thing.
Yeah, that's right. I think she would have been even more unlikable because the way she relates. The Thing brings a levity. It's often quite funny. She has a few friends that call her up on it. I think that was good. They just say, you're just, you don't trust anybody. I've been in your corner the whole time. That sort of moments, I thought those were really good. The twist I thought were really good as well, because it kept pointing at people and you kept guessing, and I was like, it's definitely this person, it's definitely this person. There is a person that I knew that definitely had to have something to do with the big arc, because otherwise it's one of those, if you're watching a TV episode of a weekly drama and you see a person's name, you're like, well, it's them, because you wouldn't get hired otherwise, right? So I knew from that perspective, but there was still mystery enough for me to go, yeah, I didn't quite guess all of what was going to happen or how they were going to get there.
It was funny. Like in the very first episode, I told my wife, I was like, I'm going to be pissed if it's this person.
And it was this person.
It was that person.
Yeah.
But in episode 6, I actually paused it for a second, and my wife and I looked at each other and we were both like, no, I think it's this person now. And
so there was a subterfuge.
Yeah, there was a little bit of doubt that was created there. And then then through 6, 7, and 8, I did flip-flop back and forth. And so I liked that even though I had guessed it, I hadn't guessed all of it.
Yeah.
And so that was, you know what I mean? And the mystery was not so deep that I was broken up about being able to, really, by the end of the series, because I became invested in the characters.
For sure. I really enjoyed her roommate. I was going to say, her roommate, the juxtaposition, so obviously created on purpose. They would just do that. Her world is beautiful rainbows, and which is a juxtaposition in itself when you consider that she's a family of werewolves. Like, how did she even end up like that? It's great. And might be my second favorite character on the show, just because of her flamboyancy, and the window coloring, the rainbows, the black and white, and Wednesday just wearing black and white, mostly black.
Very monotone. Yeah. No, it was good. I thought it was engaging enough. It moved along. I was actually surprised at how long the episodes were. I didn't realize that they were like an hour each, and which I didn't mind. I mean, I was enjoying them, and I was
sad when they finished, so that I could have had more because I was enjoying it. The world.
Exactly. Yes.
I think the best thing for me, and I think this comes down to Tim Burton, is that every character I felt like had their own story. You didn't need to be told their story, but I felt like if you went and sat down and had a coffee with them, they would have a very great detailed backstory. It just felt like a very realized world. So much so that I equated it to a year in Harry Potter, going to school there. All those characters, especially once in your like third or fourth film, you know them. They all have their own backstories, especially if you read the books. And I felt like that, which is really clever if you consider this is the first year. We essentially know nothing about them, but the world, the sets, everything gives that idea of there's much more going on. And then the little bits that we do get from characters that we just hear in over conversation if Wednesday's walking past, or she will stop to listen, but then go, that's not ready for me, or I don't care, and move on. Then, can I just say, Thing on the edge of the bed with his fingers as hands, just swinging them like a kid was brilliant. Cracked me up.
Well, and it did. You're right, because the Thing added a softness to the Wednesday character that I think she needed. Because she's so cold and stoic a lot of the time, or matter of fact. Yeah. She could become very unlikable very quickly. But then he's there to kind of bridge, or it's there, I guess, really to bridge that emotional gap.
The only character I wasn't sure on was Uncle Fester. I didn't know what to make of him. It was almost too slapstick. I guess he's similar to that in the films for sure, but this one I just didn't know what to do with him. I didn't know where he really fitted in.
I think he was more a fan service. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
because he comes on in the middle and then he just kind of disappears.
Yeah, and then he's done
after that. And
what was the point of view?
Really. I mean, for one,
you can have fan service,
exactly. Yeah. I don't think he was necessary, but that also goes like with, even Morticia and Gomez,
for sure,
and Pugsley. I mean, they were barely in it, which is fine. Yeah. I'm not complaining about that at all.
Called Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we didn't want that to be overshadowed. I mean, I think Luis Guzman was. Them together, him and Catherine Zeta-Jones, and Wednesday's disgust and disdain at her parents, like constantly making out, I thought was great. I thought that was really funny, and it reminiscent of like a teenage reaction. Yeah, if your parents were overly emotive like that.
Yeah, because they're totally in love. They're all over each other all the time, and it makes literally all the time. So much so that they said that they hadn't spent a day apart since they were married, and so if that had to happen, they would totally fall apart. And you kind of saw that happening when a bit in the storyline, and I thought it was a nice bit to make us like the characters, put the Addams family really in perspective as to what's happening in Wednesday's life, still have them feel like they're a part of the series, but be off to the side. They're still there, but this is Wednesday's story. Very, very well done.
Yeah, agreed. I'm looking forward to more. I hope there will be more. Yeah. It'll be interesting, though, to see where they go, because if they continue down like this noirish mystery angle, will they be able to create another engaging mystery that feels like it belongs?
Yeah, I do wonder about that. I hope they keep to the formula of a school year. I think it could be very cool, like with the Harry Potter. Then we have their own Scooby Gang, which is now kind of part of, and she's going to have to learn to deal with them, allow them to help her as they start progressing. One of the reasons I said that the second character is my favorite, just because of her progression throughout the arc was almost more emotional to me than Wednesday's one. So you have the interesting relationship with her parents, then that moment towards the last episode where she has a thing that happens to her, and then the emotional impact of that, I thought was really well done. Yeah.
Nice. Yep. Agreed.
Oh, cool. So moving on.
Okay.
I'm actually going to talk about a game. So most people, they hear a game and they think, I know what Ruben was moaning about not being able to play Ragnarok because he was in America and didn't get to play it. And it's not. I'm actually going to talk about a vampire game. It's called Evil West. I'll show you the cover and the description for those on audio. It's a cowboy dude. It's set in the West. That's hence the title. I'll read the description. A dark menace consumes the American frontier. As one of the last agents in a top-secret vampire hunting institute, you are the final line between humanity and deep-rooted terror that now emerges from the shadows. Rise up to become a Wild West superhero, eradicate the vampire threat, and save the United States. Includes the Wild West, eat skin pack. Yeah, the skin pack was cool. Get that, everybody. So this is nice because it's not another open world game. It's linear. So you go to different set locations and you beat the hordes of bad guys in that. What's great about the vampires in this one is they feel more like something akin to vampires that would be written by Cthulhu. What do you call them? Lovecraftian?
Really?
Lovecraftian vampires. Yeah, like a lot of these vampires have tentacles. There's lots of like werewolf hybrids. There's flying eyeballs. It's a very Lovecraftian vampire story. Set in the West, you have your gauntlet that's like filled with electricity, so you're like doing heavy punches, and the executions of that is they will explode at the end.
Nice.
And then you have your various weapons that are like darts, shotguns, and every single upgrade feels earned. The reason why you're collecting gold is to upgrade your weapons, which has real world effects, and as do you surviving. It's also not easy. I went in and read the description of the normal difficulty and went, yeah, that's me. I'm a normal. This is how the devs intended you to play. Third mission in, dying like 20 times. It's like, hell no, I didn't sign up for another Dark Souls game. Hit that easy mode, still spent another 9 times defeating a boss. So, you know, yeah, I am ashamedly still playing on easy, still dying, but loving it. It's so much fun, and the story is just classic. You are the hero. You're gruff. You have to save your dad. Your dad's infected. He's one of the army dudes. You don't have a good relationship with your dad. That the wider Americas are trying to hold back the scourge, not really knowing what's going on down your end of the world. They think they can just punch a button and everything will be fine. You still there? Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Think we lost internet there. I don't. I just stopped talking because you froze, and then I realized it might be me. So I'll carry on.
Yes. So you were talking about just how the scourge, America's holding back the scourge.
Yeah. Okay. Really so you get sent out to. There's one particular vampire or a vampiress, young one that is like messing up things for you, and you get sent to various locations in this world collecting things. There is a particular weapon that can help, I guess, lower the playing field, because at the moment you're just totally outnumbered. There are hordes and hordes of them. Your weapons are average at best, even though you're upgrading them. So between you, a doctor, and a geeky scientist, you have to go out and like defeat them and collect these things. So you have anywhere between arriving at a mission, discovering a few things, beating a bunch of guys, going in a cart and shooting things like a little roller coaster, like a little mini games in between, which is really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Rewarding the player for collecting loot boxes and going off path, walking backwards. You know, first thing you get taught as a gamer, as soon as you arrive, walk backwards, because devs love to put things behind you because normally you don't actually explore enough as you should. This game rewards that. The characters themselves are cliche what you expect. Maybe that's to its detriment. Like I'm the Western gunslinger bad guy, kind of Bruce Willis back in the 90s, you know. But also I'm not really smart, so I rely on this Chinese dude who's the smart scientist but can't be strong. It's very like caricatures of these I guess they wanted them really well defined in that way, as in the I guess old school definition of what the West would be, which makes more sense. Okay. So that it's fun. You were the hero.
Is it? I saw yours is PS5. Is it a PS5 exclusive?
I don't think so. I think it's on multiple consoles.
Okay.
It's Focus Entertainment. I don't think it's an exclusive. Yeah, it's on PC and everywhere. Evil West video game. Let's see. Yeah, it's definitely on Steam.
Okay.
Here we go. PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, Series S, Microsoft Windows.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been getting surprisingly good reviews, because normally, no matter what type of game it is, people will hate on it. But so far, this is a lot more fun. I think people were craving a linear story game. So you can go to places, do a thing, hear the story, be the hero, A to B. Vampires are bad, they're trying to suck your blood and mutate across the earth. You know, simple linear story rather than here's a 200-hour open world game, go and explore. Yeah. I like those, but sometimes you just want to be in The Last of Us, or
Oh, that's cool. I'm gonna have to tell my oldest about this, because he loves just the Lovecraft type of visuals and everything, and he like Dark Souls is one of his favorite games. So
he's gonna love this.
Game for him to
it's not as hard as Dark Souls, but it gets up there, especially if you're chucking up the harder levels. What I loved about this, it doesn't get the hordes of monsters you fight don't get old, because of the variations that every new section is just like a variation on those monsters. So you'll get the monsters you fought, but then they'll add another 3 different ones. And then just when you thought you've gotten on top of how to beat those, they chuck in a couple of others, and then you got to beat them all together. So when you're fighting a mini boss in level 1, thinking, well, that was tough. 6 levels in, you're fighting 3 of those mini bosses going, you're easy, because the guy I'm fighting now, that is the size of a mountain with like 6 eyeballs, and you're like, cool. Great fun.
Nice. Oh, very cool. Sweet. All right. So I saw a movie early yesterday.
Congratulations.
Paid to go see it. Yeah, well, hey. No, it's a 1 week release in theaters, which I don't understand, because I think if it had like a proper theatrical release, it would actually do fairly well.
Okay.
But it's coming to Netflix at the end of the year, and it's Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. And so we have the return of Benoit Blanc with a whole new cast of characters, and I really can't wait for you to watch this, because afterwards we were talking about it in the car, and there's a moment in it that, at least from our memory, feels like a giant hole, like in the story.
Okay.
So, but outside of that, I don't think it's as good as the first one, but it's still a really good mystery. I think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot more comedy in it, but it doesn't feel like slapsticky comedy or out of place. It's more of situational, maybe, or just circumstantial. And so because it's kind of almost matter of fact, like you're like, oh my gosh, that's really funny.
Yeah.
So we have, there's a big cast of characters.
Yeah.
That
massive ensemble cast again.
Exactly. Yeah. They do. You were talking about like caricatures of people, and that's what you get in this,
right?
Which it actually works for the story, even though it's a little on the nose at points. But that's okay, because it then creates these personas of people that you either don't like and you're not supposed to like, or you're laughing at them because they need to be laughed at. So I think you'll feel the time a little bit, because it goes through, like, it takes us through the mystery, and then about halfway through, it looks at the mystery from the different angle, and then it begins to fill us in up until a point that it had gone back, if that makes sense. Like, we reach a point, and then once it reaches that point, then the movie continues on. And so while it does move along efficiently, I think there's a little bit there that you might go, oh wow, okay, this is starting to feel some of the time.
Yeah.
But as far as a mystery goes, I think it's pretty good. Daniel Craig, still, I want to see just more of him in this. I will continue to watch. If Rian Johnson will create more stories for Benoit Blanc, I will watch them, because he's entertaining. He's
definitely the best part of the movie, I think. His character.
Yeah, he is. He's actually, I'm not sure he's the best part of this movie.
Right. Okay.
I didn't know one of the actors that was going to be in there, and he turned out to be probably the best part, because it was just unexpected, I think.
So the first film, I wasn't sold on it, mostly because I was sold so much on the hype train. When I eventually got to see it, I thought it was actually just an average mystery. I'd figured out the ending well into just the first third of the movie. I was like, yeah, I know exactly what this is. And having just come off of mysteries like Detective Poirot, those for me are really tight knitted mysteries. So although I love the ensemble cast, I didn't buy into the hype that everybody was saying that this is like one of the greatest of all time. I was like, it's all right. Oh. I'm not rushing back to go and watch it anytime soon. I don't think I've seen it since. So I probably will do, knowing that this one is coming out. Although I don't think it plays a part. That's not connected in any way. They're separate stories, so you don't even need to do that, really.
You could come into this one never seeing the first one, other than, well, and actually, yeah, you don't even need to see the first one, because Benoit Blanc he's introduced to us, but he's also then given some context outside of that, and you just know he's the detective. I mean, that's really all it is. So,
yeah. So I would be going into this with trepidation, I guess. I also asked for the screener. Netflix said no. So I will watch it when it comes out.
That's weird. Yeah. I think if, like, for you, okay, so you weren't wholly sold on the first one, especially from the mystery angle, because I don't think this is as good as like Agatha Christie. I mean, that woman is a genius.
Yeah.
But this would be that you watch because of the cast and because of their interactions more than the mystery angle, I think.
I think that's fun as well, because the ensemble cast, you want to see what they do with the characters that they're given. So often it's not necessarily the mystery that you get to the end. It's the journey of getting to the end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Nice. Okay. I don't know if you've gotten to this. Well, I'll speak about the anime we watched. So I had a really interesting time. I think I mentioned to you when I was with you in America that there was this anime film, One Piece Red, that I really wanted to see, and I don't think we had time to go and watch it. So, and also context of me having watched 1,000 episodes and you not having watched any would be really weird. And I'm going, look at that then, and look at that, and you're like, what? So we went and watched it. I took my two boys. It happened to be in the biggest screen that they were showing it. Nice. We were the only people in the screen, so there were three of us. They had pumped up the volume super loud, so way louder than my wife would ever let me put it on at home. And in we went, and I was like 20 minutes in, is this a musical? Because it kind of is. This is really famous singer who I'd never heard of, but in like anime culture, or at least in Japanese culture, Oda, Oda, who is I guess she's the, if you listen to the score, there's 6 or 7 tracks, and they're all incredible, various different types of music. She goes through an eclectic range, but because the story revolves around a concert, they're all there, it makes sense to have all these numbers. So I didn't mind that at all. And often the best part of the anime is the music that goes in tangent with what's going on screen. There is a big number at the end. There's a massive monster, and you have one set of bad guys that are normally fighting the good guys, except this time they've got to kind of work together to stop this massive evil, which is really clever. And in conjunction with the score from this musician or this Oda person, her song is atop that it's like the combination of the visual storytelling with her song. Man, we were just like pumped. We were like, yeah, let's do it. Nice. Come on. We came out on such a high. It was so good. I think for fans, this is like a love letter to fans. In fact, I think they worded it like that. We're making this because we've reached the 1000th episode, so we want to give you something. I don't think it's canon, although there are 3 episodes that link to it. So they actually stopped their weekly episodes that they were doing in Japan for the release of this in the cinema for 3 weeks. And then I think there were 3 episodes that led into the storyline of what happens here, which is great. But one of the good things about anime movies, especially for long-running ones, is what they tend to do is bring in every character you've ever seen and then have them at their max power and then just throw that at the screen. And you're just like... So where some of your characters have taken literally 10 to 12 seasons to reach a certain power level, you now see them just like at their max power level fighting things again. And it's just fun. It's been... Nice. The reason why there was nobody in the cinema, it's been out at cinemas already for like 3 weeks. So I realized we were massively late. And if you're a fan, you probably would have seen it already. However, if you're just coming into One Piece and you're wondering, when can I watch this? You can watch it now, although it will spoil some things as to where the characters get in their power levels, like what they can do. But because it's not canon, you can know, maybe that'll encourage you like, oh, one day they're going to reach this level. There were some spoilers even for me because I'm not totally caught up in the anime itself. And I was like, oh, that person? Okay, cool. But then I don't know because it's not canon. It's just, it's there. It's canon adjacent. So it's still, it happened, but it won't affect like the arc going forward. The characters will still do what they want. Highly recommend this. Really, really fun.
Right on. That's cool that it was still playing in the big theater.
Yeah, so glad.
So that you get to.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's next on your list?
I don't have anything else.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
Short week. Okay. Cool.
Do you have
yeah.
That sounds hesitant.
Well, because I haven't finished it, and I said I would, but I haven't finished it yet because I just haven't had time. But it's very good. A Japanese Netflix series called First Love came out.
Oh.
It's got 9 episodes, which is nice because it's short. For normally they do like 16 to 32. This one's contained. It spans a 20-year period of youngsters that meet at school, and then through life they break apart, and then later on they meet up again. And it really is about first love, which is why it's titled First Love. The way they show that is often cliche, kind of like soft focus in some of those moments, and you're like, but the realistic way that you see the relationships progress, it's a slice of life romantic drama story. And so you start really off in the future, well, modern day, which is the future, and they jump back to like showing us what has happened, how they met. They progress it and build it that way, and spend a long, like good chunks of time on that, which is great. But you also see their various friendships and their family. So the one protagonist has a sister who's deaf, and they're so brave with how they do their sign language, because they don't feel the need to add anything to it. It's just silent. And we've seen that worked sometimes well, Chris, in films where, and mostly that was like our favorite film that year or something, when they just show what it's actually like. And I think that's really brave. And then you have another protagonist who has like an autistic son who is dealing with life. And so you really see how they deal with it, how they go to work, what they eat. You know, it is slice of life, 100%. And then our relationship forms in that. And it felt nice. It was good. Although there are dramatic things that happen in it, you are totally on board of these people. You're willing them to get together. And I was just like, you know what? this is nice. Like, I need something that's not serial killer vibe. Netflix giving me documentaries of how evil people are. And yeah, I started watching Netflix documentaries even this week, like the Epstein case. And I was like, no, I don't need that in my life. I know people suck anyway. Like, and now you're just telling me they suck more? I don't need that. I'm going to watch this thing. And it turned out to be pretty damn good. So I've still got a couple of episodes to watch. I'm not quite there yet, but I'm really enjoying it.
Cool. That's cool. That's awesome that they're showing like more accurate, I guess, maybe, even within a fantastical type of world, or at least a soft focus.
There is a bit of hyper realism, I guess is what you call it. There's a couple of teenagers just in the first episode, so I'm not giving any spoilers. They're in a video store, they're talking about the girl they like, or one kid is talking to his best friend, and they're giggling and loud, and it's not quite real. And then the video they pick up happens to be like softcore porn, and he takes it to the counter, and it's the girl from school, and you're like, and then she leans forward, and he's like, "Is this the one you wanted? The one with butt stuff? And how long do you want it for?" And I'm just dying for him. I'm like, no.
Oh, awkward.
Yeah, it's so awkward. For audio, that's just me hiding underneath my shirt and shrinking down in my chair of embarrassment for the dude. Yeah.
Serves him for being pervy.
Exactly.
Oh, cool. All right. Anything else on your list?
No, that's everything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, we thank you for joining us. Don't forget, there are many, many options apparently on our Patreon where Chris will dress up and dance around and shave half of his head and Ruben will shave one of his eyebrows. No, but seriously, for a few dollars a month, you can help support us, not support us, but support really this production that goes in there.
Support my biscuit habit. Look.
Exactly. Yes. Just ooh.
Digestives.
What are those? Are those?
Digestive. McVitie's milk chocolate caramel digestives. Yeah.
I don't know. What is a digestive?
I can show you.
I mean, because when I hear that is outstanding audio. It's a cookie.
Yeah. It's a chocolate on this side. There's caramel inside, and then biscuit on that side. See.
But why do they call it a digestive? That, like, to me, that sounds like something like a probiotic.
Yeah, it does have that connotation. It helps me. It does. It helps my digestive system by me eating it.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, well, so does my Butterfinger candy bar. Yes. Okay, back.
Went off on a tangent there.
Yes, no, that's okay. I love snacks. So I know, but with our Patreon, yes, for a few dollars a month, there are many opportunities, and it just goes to help offset the cost of this production. We thank you to the patrons that we have. If you want to check out more, definitely go on patreon.com/thebeardedones to see what we get up to there. You can always tweet at us at Best We Watched. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ruben with the Ruby Tuesday, me, Chris, with Movies and Munchies. And if you've never listened to the audio part, just, hey, head over to anywhere that you happen to listen to your audio podcasts and search for the best thing we watched this week. And we are on probably almost all of them. If you do happen to listen to us, yeah, there's a ton of them. Please rate and review us. That helps us out as well. And with that, hey, we'll see you next week. Take care.